Right, how's it going, guys? Stace Man here. Today we're back for a brand new video. Now today we are back for the 311 best bets. I know this is coming out a lot later. I've been working quite a bit, so I haven't really had time to make this. But I've obviously kept up with the UFC stuff and I've looked. I will be honest here, there is actually no forfeit this week. I really was that confident in Israel Adesanya for him to get finished. Kinda wasn't in the picture enough, I'm going to be 100% honest. But we will have something set up this week. I'll do the Kiss the Devil's Prayer for this one. I know I didn't do it last week, and I'll do it again next week. I'll buy it, I'll get it. I'm raging. We lost our favourites bet because Jamal Pokes was badly robbed and released from the UFC. There's no physical way you could watch that fight and think I'd happily won it unless you were from the Middle East. As I said, lucky enough not everyone was robbed on the card. Vinicius Oliveira won. I really thought that Nurmagomedov was going to get it, but look, if you have a beard, you live in the Middle East, you support their religion, you're going to get a win over there. Doesn't matter. Same as fighting in France, you're French, going to get a win. But we'll get down to this week's card. I'm not going to bore you too much because I kind of need to get this done and get it up. So let's get into the lock of the week.
Young Magnum Whaley!
So the lock of the week this week's going to be Weili Zhang, big Welly over here. I think it's kind of crazy with the odds that she's evens. I genuinely do not know where this is coming from. Tatiana Suarez was the original champion of the division, fair enough, and she's at a 10-0. Her record is good. She's beaten a few notable names, probably about two, but we are thinking of the same person here. Yeah, Zhang Weili, who's only lost to Rose Namajunas in a controversial split decision and then the head kick, to where she's beaten everyone else in the division and finished everyone else besides Joanna Jędrzejczyk the first time she fought, and that was the boogie woman. This woman is ridiculously good. I don't understand these odds. I don't know what the bookies are doing. I'm not sure if it's people just seeing a 10-0 and picking the 10-0 person, because they're, honestly, I can't see Weili losing this. Tatiana Suarez has brilliant wrestling, but the striking attribute, 100% Weili's, 110% Weili's. Like, I can't really argue it. It's very clear that Weili is the better striker between the two of them if this stays on the feet. And, I say Tatiana Suarez is the better wrestler. She realistically isn't. Weili is competing everywhere. She's one of the best mixed martial artists in the world. She is top of her division, 110%, and she is top 10 in the world. She is fucking unbelievable. And she 100% win this fight at evens. I had a different lock, but I've changed it because of these odds. I couldn't say no to this. This is fucking crazy to me. I can't understand it, but we'll move on to the favourites, as we always do. Here we are in the favourites. The favourites are going to stay the same. Weili's going to change. She's just going to go to evens. I had her on the favourites anyways. I'm surprised she jumped to the underdog, but I'm going to keep her there because I don't want to remake this graphic, to be 100% honest. Call him Sal. Right, Sal over here is 2-11, and the reason I've put him here is he's fighting Aser Jubli. Aser Jubli has one of the funniest losses in the UFC. That man went 2 rounds perfect against Mike Breen and lost because Mike Breen started to bark at him and he just froze. I'd say Squillian finishes him pretty early in the fight. Aser Jubli is fucking terrible. It's really just one of those things where he signed off the road to the UFC. Everyone knows the road to the UFC is no good. It brings out no real talent, no real stars. It's just a shitty Asian version of the Ultimate Fighter. It literally brings over no one. Can Squillian, if he brings out the same first fucking style that he brought to Contender Series, he'd easily win it. That was a good 15, solid, grinding 15 minutes. Deserved his contract and deserves to get on it. 2-11. I think is even high odds, to be 100% honest, but let's just go ahead. We're going to go a fight not to go the distance in the first fight of the night between Park and, let's just call him Jerry. Jerry from Mongolia over here. Jerry over here from Mongolia. Look, it's 9-0 versus 8-1. They both have basically so many finishes. His literal nickname's the Art of the Knockout. I don't see this one going past 1.5, to be honest. I can see us going down the first round, but we'll move on. We'll go a no distance at 1-2. I'll take it. Then we have Kevin Drizet. Now, I think Kevin Drizet was unlucky in his fight with Brian Battle. I don't think most people expected it as good as Brian Battle is in stand-up. And I, to be honest, just don't think Jonathan Matacaf is that good that he's fighting, to be honest. The captain, I don't think he was that good in the Contender Series. I've watched his regional scene stuff. It's nothing that really is that interesting to me. I thought he was pretty poor in the Contender Series. I think Kevin Drizet still has it in him. Yeah, he lost to Brian Battle, but that's not a bad loss in hindsight. Brian Battle's a very, very good fighter. It's not really a bad loss to have. And I can see Kevin Drizet just having a better stand-up. That's really it. I could just see us being a bit of a kickboxing match. back and forth 15 minutes, bit of a boring one, maybe a 29-28 split, basically nothing special from Kevin Jersette. And obviously John Willie, I've said about her in the box, I won't talk about it again, but these odds are fucking crazy. I don't understand what's going on with Bet365, but that's what I'm going to do, and we're sticking to it. So we'll now get down to the we'll now get down to the cheese bet of the week. The cheese bet of the week. So if you don't know what the cheese bet of the week is, we're taking the 23 quid we won last week because there was a finish in the fight. It wasn't Israel Adesanya, he woke up on the canvas. But look, okay, we got it. So we're taking this 23. We're going to go with the 47 return of no distance in the Jake Matthews fight. I think, to be honest, the only reason I'm picking this is Jake Matthews' chin is very, very meh. Like, it's not good. It's questionable. It's been checked by a lot of fighters. It's very chinny. Like, if he gets caught with the power that Prado has, Prado will put him down. But then I think Prado's stamina over 50 minutes is not really there. Jake Matthews is a crafty man when it hits the mat, and I think if he gets knocked and he jumps in, scrambles could happen. Jake could grab a neck, or he could get on top and finish it with ground and pound. I think the finish inside this fight's very lively. I don't see us going 15 minutes. I can see it's too chinny, guys, but Prado isn't as bad. It's just, I think if he lands flush on Jake Matthews on the canvas, good night Irene, fight over. So we'll go with that. That's a cheese bet of the week. Now if that lands, obviously we're going to find something for the 47, but we're going to keep it rolling. I actually want to add something new here. I don't actually have the graphic made for yet, so I'll make it when the video's done. But I want to make something called the fraud check of the week. Now this is only going to come up when I really think there's a fraud somehow snuck into the UFC. And this week it's going to be Taboria's brother, Alexander or Alex. Look, I overlook this fight because I don't think the guy's fighting is particularly brilliant. Kobe Slickness Tikasi, I don't know how to really say his name. But my main argument towards, realistically from watching tape on, Ilia Toporia's brother and Alex himself, is he doesn't really look that good. It kind of seems like a bit of a Nepro signing almost. It kind of seems like one of those ones where you're taking the name, but you're not really looking at what he's actually done. He hasn't fought in 2 years, and 2 of his wins are against 7-18 and 1-9. Like, it seems kind of strange. They were good wins, they weren't bad, but it's just, he seems kind of stiff, maybe a bit slow, kind of a bit of maybe a too heavy wrestler almost. He doesn't really seem like his brother at all, and I'm not really confident on him from watching like his tape and his stuff from outside. I just don't think he has realistically MMA skills or UFC level skills. Kobe Thickness, I've looked at him on the Australian regional scene. I know it's not a high level to really bring in, but he doesn't look too bad. He probably could have used the contender series before being jumped in here, but I suppose the UFC are trying to find someone to make sure Topuria wins. I think they've done a bad job here. I think Kobe Tennessee will take him out. I think I just kind of had to mention this on Fraud Watch. This won't be a normal thing. I just think that this kind of needs to be talked about. This kind of is something that I needed to talk about because it's very Nepro type signing. It's a very just, we know his brother has a name, let's bring him in. It's kind of, not really that hard. And now we will move on to the underdogs. The underdogs now will be these 3. I actually have a 4th that I don't have on the thing, so I will add that in. It's actually Bruna Brazil at 7-2. She was actually going to be the lock this week till I saw there's one with Lee odds, but I think Bruna Brazil can definitely win it. I'll talk about Bruna Brazil first. 7-2, crazy. I really don't know what people saw in Kong Wang's last fight. She's just an overconfident striker that has no ground game. If she doesn't face someone who's 36 and slower than a turtle with no chin, she won't finish them. You can see it in the fight against, I can't even remember who she actually lost to. Gabriela Fernandez. You can see it in the Gabriela Fernandez fight. When she wasn't actually fully taking control with the strike, she had her against the cage, but when she wasn't landing the strikes, when Gabriela Fernandez could land back, she started to knock her back massively. It was like, the first minute she started to land, Wang lost all confidence. I, to be honest, think Wang does not have 15-minute cardio. She has 5, maybe 7.5, but not 15. She's not a dragon girl. She's not going to die in the first 4 minutes of a fight. But it seems if you're able to push her longer and not get finished by her power, she doesn't really seem to have too much. If you mix in the actual, mixing of the martial arts, she doesn't look very, very good. Now, on the flip side, I will give Bruna Brazil's last win is only Molly McCann, but that was a great performance. You go to enemy territory, you go to England, you were in Manchester. crowds against you. You pull out a performance like that where I thought she looked really good. I understand Smalley McCann, and to be fair, she is very poor. She's not a very good fighter. She sticks on the UFC giving her some shit fighter in London, finishes her, rinse and repeat. She never fights after that. But I just think it's just Bruno Brazil looks so good. I think she will be another person to get the first win for the Fight Nerds this year. I think she's the first one to get it for the gym. The Fighting Nerds are going to pick up their first win this year on the weekend, and they will show why they're one of the best gyms in the world. She was very good. I thought she was very good against Molly McCann. I don't understand the odds, but that's the way I'm looking at it. So on to the next one. I'm going to go with Strickland. I'm going to go with Big Shawny Boy. I personally thought he won the first fight. I genuinely thought that was a very strange judge's decision. I thought the EDP, based on damage, based on the control, I really thought it was Sean. I thought from damage, from looking through faces, if you're going to go with those aspects for how close the fight was, I really thought Sean put it on him. I really thought Sean he used his deep kick and his jab correctly, but started to line up more later into the fight. He does a 5-round cardio, which is kind of crazy. I just think this time, I think Sean might have the game plan correct. I think this time he has the EDP figured out. I think it's the only real fight besides maybe Alex dropping down that makes sense inside the division that people really want to see. I know Hamzat's there. I'll say it, Hamzat's there, but I kind of don't really want to see Hamzat as champion. It's one of those ones where I just don't really want to see him as champion just yet. I kind of want to just give him one more test fight just before he jumps up to the top. But if he gets the fight next, like Dennis said he is next, fine. Don't have any issue on it. But I think Sean wins this one. Then we're going with Tom Nolan. Tom Nolan's fighting Burchav, the Russian. I know who he is, the bald Russian lad. Look, I understand Tom Nolan was badly exposed in his only loss. He looked bad, he was a high prospect, he lost, blah blah. Verchankin, I don't really think is that particularly good. He's a good solid 15-minute guy, he can wrestle, he can hold it. I just think Tom Nolan has the power to be able to take him out in this fight. I think he'll question a few chins. Nolan has power. I just think when you give him a fighter who has a good chin, it's one thing that kind of kills him. I think Tom Nolan wins it. Probably it's a first round knock. No, I won't say first round knock. I think it will be a decision, but I think he'll drop him once or twice, maybe get tangled up in the ground, but I think he'll definitely have the upper advantage on it. And the third person, or well, technically fourth, is going to be Jimmy Coote. Okay, now this one, I hold my hands up, this one is a bit of a punt and hope. I'm confident in this one just because if it was anyone else against Jimmy Coote, I wouldn't pick him. But because it's Renato by Fanto, I just can't pick by Falto. He's so bad, like his only losses in MMA are to Victor Petrino, and that's not aged well. Victor Petrino's come in here now and lost to like a literal Anthony Smith, a Lionheart who could genuinely be beat by anyone in the division. Like, it's one of those ones where he just got guillotined by a terrible takedown, and you have to think that he lost the decision and a knockout to this one fighter who literally got caught in the dumbest guillotine I've ever seen and had no idea what to do. And even against Dustin Stufos, or whatever I call him, he literally was just standing right in front of him for the whole fight, just going jab for jab, and then got caught and finished. Honestly, I couldn't see Jimmy Coote, going jab for jab with someone who lost to someone like that. I've seen Bayento's style. It's not very impressive. It's very meh. It's kind of one of those ones where you kind of look at it and go, oh, right, so this is the style that we're working with. This is the style that we're looking at. It's kind of nothing impressive, but nothing kind of offensive. It's not special. It's not good. He doesn't really have power. He doesn't really grapple. He probably has the grappling advantage over Jimmy Coote, but that's not really much of a surprise. I still think if it hits the mat, it's very even. No one really takes it. I think Jimmy Coote more than likely has the stand-up advantage. My only real kind of issue that really creeps into it is Jimmy Coote's chin is he's chinny. He's very chinny. He's probably one of the most chinny fighters that I could pick here. But I think at the odds of 13-10, I won't go against him, and that's what I'm thinking. That's what I'm going to go with. So we're done with all the underdogs part. We're done with all that. So we can see Sal over here. We'll go with the no distance inside this first fight. We'll go with Kevin Drizzet's actually dropped in odds. What was the fourth? Oh yeah, Joeli. Right, so we will throw a tenner on, not 19, we will throw a tenner on that. We're playing 48, 45. The other one now that I just see it here is I go with Rosdu to beat Cody Steele. I just think he is the better fighter between the two of them, and that's going to be it. I just didn't really want to have 5 underdogs, but that's going to be it. That's going to be the Yaka. And that will be the video. Did enjoy this? Always remember to leave a like, leave a comment. I will always respond down to any comments down below. Leave me your predictions, leave me your kind of calls for it if you have anyone else to put down. If you really think that there's anything I got wrong in this, please let me know. Just, tell me why my picks wouldn't land. And also I will have the Kiss the Devil spray next week for that forfeit, and if we get this one wrong, I will okay, if Joelle leaders, I will eat a fun can of dog food in the next one. So anyways, if you did enjoy the video, please hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and I will see you next one. Peace.